Much like a lot of people, I consider myself to be a pretty good driver, and I've only been driving for about a year now. I've driven this many miles on Gran Turismo 7, and about 75% of that was on a wheel with a shifter. All of this to say, today I'm going to be answering a question that absolutely nobody asked, but I wonder about. Does playing on a wheel and pedal actually improve your IRL driving? And I believe I have 5 reasons as to why that's true, so let's get straight into this. Trying to find good drivers in Gran Turismo is about as easy as finding gas cheaper than $3.40 in where I live right now. This is ridiculous! I really needed to let that out. And with all this stupidity ready at any given moment to destroy your car, you have no choice but to have the reflexes of a jungle cat. It's the good thing and the bad thing about racing games. Everybody has access to it who can pay for it. And some people who can pay for it can't drive. And as a result of driving on digital roads where a 9-year-old can have a Bugatti Chiron, it makes real life pretty easy. Now, I admit, I've been on the giving and the receiving end of bad driving, but I can give you 2 instances where it saved me. I have a shortcut I used to get to school. That's where I recorded the infamous clip of me challenging you guys to do the wide body kit video. And if you haven't watched that, go watch it. It's fun. To put it shortly, I was coming up the hill. A Honda Odyssey was coming up the other side of the hill in the middle of the road. I was on the right side of the road, you know, like we're supposed to be in good old America raw. One thing led to another and I ended up in the grass and they just went on their merry way. I will find you, Honda Odyssey driver. And then the second instance was me on the highway with my sister in the car. We were all the way in the fast lane. Somebody cut across 2 double yellow lines coming on an entrance into the highway and ran me off the road. I'm not kidding, he only missed us by about a foot. Honestly, I credit that to nothing other but the hand of God himself. If those were my reflexes, me and my sister would be cooked. The second way sim racing helps in real life driving. In racing, there are so much higher stakes because you're going so much faster, and you do this all the time in Gran Turismo races, or even just something that I do. No hezzy. With racing, it's a bit easier because people are mindful of your space and you just have to make sure there's nobody in your blind spots and nobody's gonna cut in your line if you're trying to go for an apex or whatever. In no hezzy, it's barbarian. To put it simply, you either check your surroundings or you die. You have to check for traffic around you. You have to weave through gaps in traffic whilst making sure there aren't other people weaving through the traffic who are going for the same gap as you, who will then crash into you, causing you both to crash and then get publicly ridiculed. Like on the highway, I automatically blind spot check over the shoulder, even though you're supposed to do that, which a lot of people don't do. Whenever I park, I leave the handbrake up. Awareness and reaction time pretty much go hand in hand because you can't have reaction time if you're not aware of what's going on. In a safe environment where nobody can get hurt really makes it a lot easier in real life. A big way that amateur car enthusiasts often crash their cars is by going too fast on unfamiliar roads. We've all heard this story before. Some kid gets their first G35 or something and then goes and slides it into a ditch or whatever. It happens all the time. Risk assessment. This car is so slow. That was literally 55. I'm sure everybody's heard that adage, with great power comes great responsibility. And that is true whenever driving a car because lives are at stake, including yours and your passengers and other people on the road. And it's even more important for car enthusiasts because we like to enjoy our cars. Even though this is a slow 120 horsepower Versa, I still like to enjoy it. If you're sim racing, even without a wheel and sim setup, one of the first things you learn in Gran Turismo is when to brake. And they have little braking meters and stuff for that, and driving lines that have the little brake things on them. And those are good, but what they're trying to teach you is to anticipate braking. And on track, what you do is you'll memorize braking points. Like you'll see, hey, that tree's kind of weird. Well, I know I need to brake right there because that is exactly what's going to get me into the corner at the speed I want and how I want. But with a lot of roads, such as the one I'm on right now, you don't get that information because you're not doing 10 laps around this road, or at least I hope not. This is where risk assessment prevails. If you can't see the apex of a corner, don't gun it. It's just common sense. If you're somewhere where the road's messed up, don't gun it. That just makes sense. It's really just as simple as that. Driving a car at its limits really teaches you where physics limits are. You can reach your car's limit and still save it, but if you reach physics limits, there's nothing that's gonna keep you from sliding off the road if you start sliding off the road. Real life isn't a video game. There's no resetting, there's no respawning, and there's no reliving after you've killed yourself in a ditch. On a much brighter note, we'll go to our next thing. While I was editing, I realized that I forgot number 3 somehow. This one isn't really vital to everyday driving, but you know, like, it helps. And that would be efficiency. On-track efficiency is key to being able to beat your opponents, because even if you have a car that's just as fast, you can outdrive them. You can get better line. And just sometimes that actually helps. Like if there's an absurdly twisty road or something where it's just jolting you back and forth and back and forth. And then clipping the apexes makes it a bit smoother, just not crossing the double mustard. Never cross the double mustard. But here's a little example at this roundabout. Now, I know this probably isn't even more efficient, but it's fun. All right, let's get back to the video. Reason number 4 that sim racing has helped me in real life is parking. Now, I know what you're thinking. In a game made for racing, you're doing a lot of parking? Well, yeah, because there's free roam lobbies where you can just go on the racing map and do whatever you want. And a lot of people will do RPs and stuff where there's actually tracks that you can park up and do whatever you want. And I enjoy doing that stuff. In fact, I think the lobbies where you can take your absolute dream car out with a whole bunch of other people, park up, meet up, and then go for a chill drive, not even pushing your car just like it's real life. That's what I find the most fun. But anyway, in a lot of those, you have to park. And I can tell you with firm confidence that I have mastered all 3 parking skills. That's 4. 3. Forwards, backwards, parallel. Surprisingly, the one I'm worst at is actually forwards because I park backwards so much. So we're gonna do a little bit of a test. Also, be sure to let me know in the comments if you like this camera view. It's very nice. It's held in by a sweatshirt. You know, it looks good until you get over here. Yeah, I'd give this about a 5 out of 10. Pretty average curb smacker parking job, if you know what I mean. All right, we're good on this side, and we're good on this side. Right around the same amount of room, we're good. And now for the final boss for most people, parallel parking. So the way that this is gonna work is I'm going to park between this and that because we don't have any parallel parking space. So let's go. So yeah, this does not look as impressive as I thought. I greatly overestimated how long my car is. So we're gonna go somewhere where there's actually parallel parking. The town square. Look at this. Look at this. Could be a little straighter. There's a lot of space. This is a small car, but still, I believe I've proved my point. And the final and most important thing that I've learned from sim driving is just general car control. Front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, all wheel drive, mid engine, front engine, rear engine. Having somewhat realistic simulations of those things are vital to being able to control your everyday car in every situation imaginable. And I know that's quite a huge jump to conclusions, but it's actually saved me a few times. I kept on putting off getting new tires for this car for ages, even before the cardboard wide body build. The day that I found out was the day that I was coming home on a 2-lane road and I started hydroplaning, and I freaked out. My brother was not amused, but I definitely did not keep my cool. Other than divine intervention, I certainly believe that knowing how to countersteer, when to give gas, when to not give gas, all that stuff contributed to us not dying that day because there was a huge embankment on the other side and that was not fun. Also, Mom, if you're watching this, I did not tell you about that, sorry. I didn't want to worry you. I've said this a lot this video, but it's just really important to know driving the extremes of your car. You don't want to learn what your car feels like under hard braking when it's in an emergency. No, you want to do that in a parking lot somewhere. My car under hard braking kind of swerves to the left a little. The rapid engine braking actually affects the braking. But this also translates to having more powerful cars down the line. Like I want a 370Z. That's a 370 horsepower rear wheel drive car, I think. And that is a lot more than this 120 horsepower front wheel drive car. In conclusion, really, having a racing sim lets you do all of the sketchy stuff that you could test in real life and probably kill yourself or somebody else in a place where you can't kill yourself or somebody else. Even though it isn't perfectly realistic, it is still a huge step in the right direction. Anyway, be sure to like the video if you like it. Be sure to subscribe if you love it. I'm the Dude Sperado, and I'll see you in the next one. And also, this is kind of different content than what I usually film. I kind of like it.